What we have going on here is a complete, gross disregard for Colorado law and the policy they sold this person.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Airing of Grievances. My name is Eric Reamer and that's Robert Grieve, and as always it's a privilege to spend a little time with you either on a Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. in the Mountain Standard Time. That's when we do the premiere, and you can chat with us live during that time. If you're using the YouTube app, there is a chat feature and you can hang out with us. We always love that. However, if you're watching this after Saturday morning, we want to say thanks to you as well. We appreciate you for tuning in, for sharing this content with your sphere of influence. That is so important as well. And of course, for our regulars, gosh, it's so great to have you as a subscriber. And if you haven't done it yet, take the time to do it now. It's a good thing. All right, Rob, I want to say happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you. My dear friends, happy Saturday to you.
Absolutely.
Good to see everybody here.
So, just for setting the stage in this particular program, we live in Denver, Colorado, suburb of Denver, Colorado. Englewood is where our shop, Nylund's Collision Center, is located. And you might consider this the beginning of the buckle of the hail belt in the U.S. Hail is a regularly occurring thing here in our neck of the woods, and sometimes the hail can be devastating.
It can be.
And today we're going to talk about how some other people talk about hail.
What we're going to talk about is roles and responsibilities,
I like this.
whether they be legal or contractual.
Or contrived.
We have a hail car that came in yesterday, and it is significant in damage.
It's the understatement of the year.
Probably one of the worst ones I've seen of the season. And it is, well, we're gonna show a video about it.
Oh yeah.
You took a nice video with just one little section.
Right.
The whole thing is that way. And talk about some of the things that are going on behind the scenes. And if you've had hail, you need to tune in and watch this. This is for sure.
Absolutely.
There's some important things going on that are not being necessarily upfront with you.
Say it's not true.
I wish I could say it's not true.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
Take a look at the video.
Here it is.
What do you think about that?
Wow.
Hood, fenders, roof,
Head and shoulders, knees and toes.
yeah.
That is.
That's not repairing any of that. That's replacing most of it.
Sure.
Maybe the fenders could have paintless dent repair, but by and large, the majority of it is replace.
Yeah.
And replace a roof is a incredibly invasive and expensive process,
Sure.
especially on a car like this.
Yeah.
So what we have here is a 19 Lexus RX, written by a national appraisal company for an insurer, USAA.
Okay.
And what we have going on here is a complete, gross disregard for Colorado law and the policy they sold this person. You know, USAA has all those warm and fuzzy feel-good commercials about how they take care of the military.
Yeah.
Let's see how well they do.
Okay.
Let's see how well they do. You saw the video of this person's car,
Yes.
and you know, this is going to be under their comprehensive coverage of their own policy.
Right. It's
And
an
they
act
have
of God.
Yeah, they have a duty in that policy to return the vehicle back to pre-loss condition,
Sure.
the way it was prior to the loss, and the loss was hail. The nice thing about hail, if there is anything nice about hail,
Okay.
is you can see all the damage.
Yes.
There's no hidden damage.
Right.
So it's not like we have to do a supplement because we took the bumper off and found all sorts of stuff wrong underneath it. That doesn't happen in hail. Everything that is basically needed, you can see.
Sure.
So let's go to the Colorado law, Title 10 of the revised statutes. And it requires that any estimate prepared by or for an insurer covering damages that are visible or evident at the time of the inspection is adequate to restore the property within a reasonable time to its condition before the loss. And that's in accordance with applicable policy provisions.
That seems fairly straightforward, though. The law is
That's the law.
pretty concise.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to write the estimate for what you can see and to restore the vehicle to pre-loss condition.
It's a good faith measure.
Yes. Yes, it is. Here we have an estimate prepared on that car. You know what? Show the video one more time.
Here you go.
Let's take a peek at it and soak it in.
It's painful to watch.
And this is just part of it. The other side is just as bad.
Really.
Yeah. This national appraisal company for USAA wrote, you ready?
Sure.
$5,767. $5,767 to put this car back to pre-loss condition within a reasonable amount of time.
This car is a pincushion. It's pummeled. I replaced the windshield on my own car just a couple of years ago, same year, model year, and it cost $2,800.
Needs a windshield.
It's just a windshield.
Needs a roof,
Hood,
a hood,
and all the trimmings.
all the trim. Wow. And so, how could it be that little amount of money? Because
I can't get there from here.
consistently we're seeing hail, even though it's different on every single car,
Yeah.
to be about $5,000. It seems to ring a bell.
Interesting.
And when we write an estimate and send it in on the value of what it's going to take to put it back to pre-loss condition, and let's just say we'll throw a number out, $10,000.
That's throwing a number out. Okay.
They come back with between $5,000 and $6,000.
Oh.
So I was talking to John about this, and he says, yeah, but talking to the adjusters, they're not allowed to write. Now, who's not allowing them, we can only surmise, because I
Sure.
don't know.
Sure.
But they look at our estimates and we can't write for all that. And these are professional appraisers that have a duty under the policy and under the law to, within a reasonable amount of time, put that car back to pre-loss condition. What's going to be going on here is this car is going to sit for weeks, because we're going to have to write a supplement, which shouldn't have to be written, because you could see all the damage.
Right.
That supplement is going to have to be then sent in with a ton of pictures, and they're going to come back, and they're still not going to be at the number that we need. And then it's going to go through that same process again. In the meantime, it's my opinion, that vehicle's a total loss.
Because the damages exceed
Yeah.
the value of the car.
Exactly.
Okay.
There'll be more damage on there than what is the value of the car.
Hey, is that pretty good coffee there?
Yeah.
That,
Don't be a dumb butt.
it sounds like the adjuster, the independent appraisal company's adjuster working on behalf of USAA, it sounds like he's kind of trying to be a dumb butt.
I don't know if it's a him or her, but here's the thing, folks. The estimating system that we both use the same estimating system.
Yeah.
There's three major estimating systems, and it gets to be a pain in the butt when somebody writes in this and we write in that. But
sure.
In this particular case, we're both writing in the same estimating system.
All right.
And my son, who has been writing not 6 months, not even 3 months, can write a better estimate than this, right out of the box. And part of the reason that is because if you pay attention to the estimating system, it will tell you things you need to do. Like in this particular case, they have to R&I the headlights. That means take the headlights out and put them back in.
Remove and install.
And the reason we're taking the headlights out is so that the PDR tools can get in behind and push the little dents out of the fender, and then we put the headlights back in. And,
sure.
that's how paintless dent repair is done.
Yep.
But when you click on the buttons that say R&I the headlight left, R&I the headlight right, a little note comes up at the bottom of the screen that says, doesn't say don't be a dumb butt, but it does say the time that they're allotting to do that,
yes.
Which in this particular case is 6/10 or a little over a half hour each.
Okay.
Okay? That time is after the bumper cover has been removed.
Sure.
And it says it right down at the bottom, after the bumper cover has been removed.
That makes sense.
Nowhere in the estimate is it to remove the bumper cover.
They didn't write for that.
No. That's just one small, tiny example of...
Hold on. Let me just wrap my head around this. You're using the same estimating software. So that little note that comes up for the person
who's writing the estimate.
Who's writing the estimate.
Yeah.
Whether it's your son Greg or the person who wrote for this car.
That is correct.
So if that thing comes up, how do you know?
It tells you to put R&I the bumper, which is probably going to be 1.4 or almost an hour and a half or something like that.
How do you not do that? How do you skip over that?
It's intentional.
Do they just X out that little comment?
Well, no, they just keep moving on. They ignore it.
Oh.
And the estimating system comes up and pops up all this information that you need to know in order to accomplish something. And I'm being told, and here's a perfect example of we can't write for all those things.
I think you should have another cup of coffee.
I think I'll have some more coffee.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So anyway, folks, the goal here not only is to under-indemnify you.
That's a big word again. Make you whole.
Make you whole. The goal is that you just cash that check and either don't fix the vehicle or you trade the vehicle in. Because this car has got to have $25,000-$30,000 worth of damage to it easily.
That's why I said you're just throwing out that $10,000
yeah.
for easy math. But the reality is this car is
a total loss.
A total loss because that $25,000, $30,000, maybe even $35,000 worth of hail damage, each one of those little dings, big dings, cracks, has a value. And if you just add them up, and it's going to total the car. So,
and anybody, you don't have to be in the business to look at that hood and say, that's not getting fixed.
No.
By the way, it's aluminum.
You've got to replace that.
It says right in the estimating system, says the hood, aluminum. So, and aluminum is much tougher to fix than mild steel. So, it's criminal what's going on. It's intentional what's going on.
A lot of people just cash those checks.
They just cash the checks
because it's
or they
easy
trade
money.
The car in, but your policy has not done its job at that point,
right?
And we've disregarded the law completely.
that is a bigger can of worms,
Yeah, because there's no hidden damage here.
right?
It's all apparent. And it says visible or evident at the time of inspection.
And it also says to restore it to the pre-loss condition.
Right. So have somebody look at your vehicle and let's, get the correct appraisal. Let's get back with the insurance company. Be careful what insurance company you choose. Not all of them do these sorts of things. The better ones, yes, they might be a little bit more expensive. But this person, if the car was repairable, would absolutely run out of rental by months to fix this thing. And it's going to take a month just to get to a place where we can start to fix it if it were repairable. It'll probably be close to a month to figure out that it's a total loss.
It's embarrassing what's going on here. And folks, just remember, your commercials may be warm and fuzzy, and there's not a single one of us who would not stand up and salute those who proudly serve our country and so on. We love and respect the families and those who sacrifice everything for our freedom. That's not the issue here, and it should not be the basis upon which you purchase your insurance. If they're going to undercut you this way, what good have you done? What good have they done you?
Yeah. They made the premiums, you paid the premiums, now you need them, and it turns out to be a different story. And this is gonna cost rental time. It's anguish for the guest, the owner of the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be this way. It's not designed to be this way.
And I kind of want to stay tuned to find out if, in fact, the insurer decides to total this car in the end,
And how long it takes.
how much they offer. Because if they've acted in bad faith once, quite possibly we may have another story out of this car.
Yeah. It's very, very possible, and that's why you always want to make sure your policy has the appraisal clause in it, or right to appraisal, because that's one way we fix this, and we've talked about that on another show.
Yeah,
And there's plenty of our friends that would be happy to handle this for you.
you bet. If you have any questions about your vehicle, your situation, your insurance company, what's going on with a vehicle in process for you, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Here's our phone number. And of course, you can always check us out at nylundscollision.com. We have articles about this topic as it relates to hail. And gosh, Rob, it breaks my heart on the behalf of the people who are, the victims in this, both
This
victims
happens
of Mother
day in and
Nature.
day out.
Yeah.
Day in and day out.
Yeah,
So anyway, it's not that hard, but we make it hard.
we don't.
Not us.
We help fix the
We're
hard.
gonna get these people through this thing.
Yeah.
The fastest way that we can. So
Absolutely. Thank you.
anyway, that's what we got for today.
Hey, what's this? What's that cup say?
Don't be a dumb butt.
I won't.
Friends, have an amazing week. I'm going to be out at some Lexus training this Saturday, so I probably will not be able to dial in and say hey.
That's all right. I got you.
Have an amazing week, and I'll see you next Saturday.